Good morning everybody and welcome to a game between Complexity Gaming and TSpirit for the Captain's Draft 3.0 presented by Dota Cinema and someone. I think it's Moondog. I don't really know. I don't, there's like a line there. But hey, presented by Dota Cinema and someone. I think it's Moondog. But anyway, we're casting this game today because I'm really tired and I need to do a video and yeah, so let's get into it. I like the Captain's Draft tournament because it leads to some really interesting picks. In case you don't know, but usually in competitive Dota the game is played in Captain's Mode, which is a different drafting mode from Captain's Draft. Captain's Draft has a much smaller hero pool, which you can see on the side. That's all the heroes that are available, and then each team gets 3 bans, and then you just take turns picking, and that's the mode. And I actually really enjoy it. The only reason why I don't play more of it is because nobody fucking plays it. Which I guess is kind of a silly thing to say, right? It's just like, well, I don't play this because nobody plays it, which then again leads to nobody playing it. But at the same time, I can't queue for 10 minutes for every match, right? So, anyway. But we're just gonna go ahead and take a look at how this goes down. I always like these games. They tend to be quite interesting with interesting heroes. I picked this game specifically because, you know, it's about the length I wanted to do, and also, yet again, interesting heroes. So let's just go ahead and see what we can make happen. Anyhow, TSpirit versus Complexity. In case you know nothing about Complexity, Complexity is actually a team that originated in Heroes of Hon. As you can see, Chessie is actually you know, running the Hon trash image right there, going with that, you know, showing it off proudly. But yeah, Complexity is a team that originated in Heroes of Newerth. They were very good, very good. Then they switched to Dota 2 and didn't take long for them to become very good at Dota 2 as well. They're a scary team, but they tend to be a little unconventional because of their Heroes of Newerth roots. But I actually do respect Complexity a lot. They are scary people. Like they'll fuck you up if you mess up. On the other side, we have TSpirit. I sadly don't really know much about TSpirit. You know, they have Always Wanna Fly, which I remember, if I remember correctly, was on Team Empire beforehand, but I don't really know anything about the other players. I know Goblock. I think this is a Russian team, but that's about all I can tell you. Anyway, as per picks, we have Slaughter, Viper, Enigma, and Skyrev coming out from Complexity, and Lich, Lycan, Visage, and Centaur for TSpirit. Is the draw range available? No, so TSpirit is probably looking at another core. I imagine a Lycan might take the safe lane, Centaur off. So probably a mid. I mean, we do have heroes like, possibly Warlock actually. Warlock available. Dragon Knight, I think, is much more likely, however. You're going up against a Viper, which is always really tough, so maybe even something like Phantom Assassin to try to avoid fighting the Viper for as much as possible. But then again, like, it's already hard to guess picks in a regular match, and in Captain's Draft it's just impossible. So, yeah, but I don't know, like, I feel like TSpirit needs another core here. They could also just play the Visage as a core, I suppose, but Warlock, will you look at that? Okay, so the Warlock coming out, I wonder if that's a mid Warlock, could also be a support Warlock, right, and then the Visage as the mid. It's a bit tricky, but, well, let's give it a second to figure it out. On the other side, we have Slaughter, Viper, Enigma, and Skyrev Mage. It seems like they're looking for a safe laner, right, something they can put into the safe lane to just farm up and become really scary. Possibly somebody that works well with Enigma. Yet again, the Dragon Knight pops to mind, but maybe even a Kunkka. I could see the Phantom Assassin working well, the Phantom Lancer as well. Maybe even Troll Warlord. Meepo would be fine. I don't think they have a Meepo player though. Like, that's always the problem with Meepo, right? Like, you need a Meepo player. You can't just get Meepo. You need somebody that's actually good at the guy. So it's probably not him. Not him. And well, we'll see. Right? They have a little bit of time left still. TSpirit's lineup, I think, is pretty scary. They have a lot of pushing and a lot of fighting potential. Lycan becomes super scary very quickly. Also, Lycan has the Howl, which this right here, Howl, gives bonus damage to all allied heroes and all allied minions, which includes things like the familiars, right? The birds from the Visage will get the buff. I guess, strictly speaking, actually, Warlocks Like, Warlock's Golem is also going to get the buff. It's not as big of a deal with him, but with Visage, it really comes into play. Rikimaru coming out. Now, this is a hero I did not expect to see, except I did because I, of course, know the draft beforehand. But the thing is, Rikimaru is not a hero I would expect to see picked up at all. If you take a look at the rest of the heroes available, again, I think a Dragon Knight would have been just fine. Phantom Assassin would have worked as well, but they go with the Riki, and this is mostly why I wanted to cast this game. I think this looks pretty interesting, just based on that hero alone. But we do have some niche picks overall, right? We have the Warlock, we don't really see a lot of him, and it's actually going to be a mid-Warlock. Will you look at that? That's my strategy. And no, look, I'm not going to take any shit on that. Mid-Warlock is my strategy. That's just how it is. But we have Riki, of course. We have Enigma, which is not the most popular hero these days. So overall, I think this is actually quite the interesting game. Is that a mid-Warlock? That's a mid-Warlock. Just based on the items, that's a mid-Warlock. Yeah, the Lycan is definitely going bottom. So we'll have a mid-Warlock going up against what I assume is going to be the Viper played by Limp. So that's going to be fascinating, right? I don't actually see Warlock winning that. But at the same time, this hero is actually pretty scary, right? Like, I actually think Warlock can be quite nasty. It's just that Viper is nasty. We know that much for sure. So we'll see how this works out for them. It's a bit tricky. Seafreak going into the bottom lane. Is he off lane? Safe lane Slaughter? No, this is an off lane Slaughter. I think he's just putting down the wards. Riki, of course, stays invisible while using items, so Seafreak can just walk into the bottom, you know, safely put down the wards, safely put down some sentries probably, and he doesn't really run any risk, right? He will be fine. So that's likely why he's down here. I expect him to rotate into the top afterwards. There's no way he plays safe lane with these items. He might actually be a support of sorts. I'm really not really sure, but Limp right now taking a lot of damage. Already got a bit of initiation going on. Seafreak gets quite a few hits in, but seems that's going to be the end of it. Hanskin is currently going into the bottom lane as well. So I'm actually a little confused by what's happening. Right now, it seems like Complexity is mostly just looking to get a kill. It's not going to happen. Sadly, Chessie, of course, not skilling the standard level 1. You do need those islands, so I can't really blame him for that. But with the sun, there was maybe a chance. It's kind of tricky. The camp blocked. I wonder if this actually... I feel like they just blocked it through walking through. Probably the Lycan did. Right, but... anyhow. So we'll see how this one goes down. Mid lane, Warlock against Viper. Iceberg going up against Limp. At the top lane, we got Goblock and Afterlife. The Centaur and the Lich going up against Seafreak on the solo Rikimaru. And at the bottom lane, currently a whole array of heroes. We got Always Wanna Fly on the Visage, harassing Chessie on the Enigma and the Jungle. And in the straight up lane, we got Hanskin on the Scarif Mage and Swindles or Swindle Melons on the Slaughter, with currently the Centaur TPing in. So that was actually kind of weird. Honestly, kind of interesting. Anyway, Hanskin coming in, he's gonna make sure that Chessie actually gets some farm. It's very important that Enigma actually does well. This hero is super greedy. Super greedy. He doesn't lane well. He doesn't. He's terrible at laning. He jungles very quickly, right? But jungling is always risky. Jungling is always taking, you know, kind of... Look at that! Look at Iceberg just going in on Limp. Holy shit! He doesn't give a damn. This is interesting, but we got so many things happening all over the map. Oh, Always Wanna Fly! One more hit! But no, the health potion coming out. Now we maybe got the turnaround. No, Always Wanna Fly is still fine. Actually, Scarif Mage, however, is a really fast hero, so one more hit may be able to do it. He gets it, and there we go. The first blood goes to Hanskin on the Scarif Mage. Turns that fight around pretty nicely, and that's a good first blood for Complexity. Now, they actually got Afterlife running in. They can't believe this is still happening. He gets the stun on the Skyref. He does have the double edge ready, and that should be enough. It just... Actually, no, it's not enough yet. He needs one more hit. Now it is. If he gets a double edge at this point, that should certainly be the kill, considering he has boots. Yes, there we go. He connects with it, and Centaur, in the end, manages to trade the Skyref for the Visage. I'm not really sure how that worked out for them, but I'm sure they'll be, you know, they'll be okay with it. Anyway, Swindle Melon's now going in on Centaur. He does have an Orb of Venom, so he's actually able to deal quite a bit of damage here. He does have another Crush ready. Uses it a little late. That's unfortunate. In the meantime, in the mid lane, actually, Chessie secures a kill on Iceberg, and they actually get another one there. The Lich going down. Always Wanna Fly gets the what's his face? Limp, Viper. God, all of these hero names I'm not used to saying. I'm sorry. I'm just like, oh my god, who even plays these heroes? No, but Viper goes down. The Visage manages to pick up that kill. After, of course, Warlock got traded in the mid lane. Now, Warlock is actually doing pretty well in the mid. Much better than I expected. He's skilling stats, as you can see. So, just maxing out the Shadow Word and getting some stats at level 2. By the way, we got a quick suicide to Roshan. But, I know, this is interesting, right? We got the Shadow Word coming out on the Viper. He doesn't take that much damage from it, of course, right? He has the corrosive skin keeping him alive, and that's really one of the issues I have with this lane, right? The Viper just kind of doesn't really die to Warlock as other heroes would. In the meantime, up at the top, we got Ramses 666, is actually a player we haven't really talked about at all, but the Lycan, of course, going up against Seafreak now. We have so many rotations coming out. These lanes are not really lanes, these are more like musical chairs. Like, both teams are just not content with any of what's happening. But Lycan at the top lane, he's definitely outfarming the Riki. I'm not surprised by that. I don't honestly see how Riki could possibly win this lane. It's just Lycan deals more damage and has summons and is just the all-around better hero. So good luck with that. But hey, Centaur, he's gonna be fine, of course, but has to retreat back. You can see Swindle, he's already looking for a lot of kills, right? The Slaughter's already being very active, he's roaming around the jungle, helping out his supports. That's why they're, of course, playing that offensive tri-lane, like trying to shut down TSpirit's push as early as possible. Meantime, in the mid lane, by the way, yet again, a little bit of a number fight, but Warlock, he just heals up and he's fine. Like, he doesn't really care that much. But if you look at the lineup that TSpirit brings to the table here, right, they do have a very aggressive pushing lineup, and this is the kind of team that's gonna take towers, right, and then just continue taking towers. They'll continuously go for that. They'll take a tower, which gives them more money, right? They put it on their pile of money. Go and take another tower that they yet again add on their pile of money, and eventually that just is such a huge fucking pile that it just topple the pile over and it slams on Swindlemelon's head. At which point he gets really angry at his team and rage quits, and at that point call GG's. Now, that, of course, is something we want to avoid if we are Complexity, and the way they are going for right now is to not try to outfarm them, but instead just say, okay, you know what, how about we just prevent all of this from happening by just drowning out the fire right away, right? We don't even let that big mountain build up, we just throw it over right away, right? Like, we're not gonna let the fire just burn down the entire forest. We'll just like take a bucket of water and clear it out right at the start. And that's why they're being so aggressive, right? That's why they went for that aggressive tri-lane. That's why they are constantly applying pressure on all lanes. However, this is gonna be a lot more difficult now, right? Because we have ultimates now slowly coming online. We have the Warlock. He hit level 6, right? And that is a scary ability. We have the Lich, of course. He will eventually also get some levels, especially since he's now chilling in the mid lane. Or actually, always want to fly, taking a lot of damage at the bottom. Should be a quick pick off, but Afterlife coming in and he takes down Swindle. So that's a 1-for-1 and definitely not in the favor of Complexity. You need that Slaughter to be doing well. If the Slaughter isn't ready to fight, then the entirety of Complexity just falls apart, right? Like, that is the really key component here. Now, this is something I think is a little weird, right? Like, so what's the point of the Riki here? Seafreak doesn't really have any money. He's got 14 last hits compared to the 38 on a Lycan. Right? He's level 5. Doesn't even have his amazing ultimate yet. Which, as we know, is a game-winning ability. Doesn't have an Orb of Venom, so he's probably not ganking anytime soon either. Honestly, so far, the Riki hasn't done much other than putting down some wards. And that's kind of a problem, right? You can't just pick a hero and have him be useless for the entire game. Actually, always on the fly. There we go. Now we got the Riki coming in. He actually gets quite a bit of damage in on the Visage. Visage probably falling, and yes, he already accepted his fate. Got Iceberg coming in, he drops Bob. He's gonna try to keep Goblik alive here. Limp, guys, goes in with the poison. Lich is still getting healed up. Seafreak finally manages to secure that kill. The Smoke Cloud gonna slow down Iceberg, gonna slow down Bob, and it seems to be the end of that. So, sadly, not much value coming out from the Warlock's ultimate. Oh, actually, Afterlife, he wants this one. They get the dot on Seafreak. And just a quick pick of Warlock takes that one. Iceberg, I'm sure, is happy about it. But in the end, you still lose the Lich, which is a bit unfortunate. That's alright, though. We're not really sure about the Riki's position yet, right? Is he a core? Is he not? And actually, look at that. Limp! They're gonna be slowed down by the Warlock, and Bob dealing a lot of damage. They have the Shadow Word, and the Viper will certainly fall right there. Warlock picks up yet again another kill. And this guy's already doing pretty well, right? His last hit's not that great. Viper's definitely out farming him in that regard. But now sitting on 2 kills, that's pretty damn solid, right? Not much to complain about there. Bob gonna, of course, die right there. Poor little guy. He can't really do much about that. Always has to go back to hell, man. Come on. Like, what's the point, really? Just stay around. We like you, Bob. We don't mind you being here. Just don't worry about it. Okay, then. So Ramses is just going to go ahead and head into the jungle. He's going to start farming up these creeps right here. And of course, being a Lycan, he's very much able to do so. Right? He almost has his Vladimir's, which is kind of a big item. Seafreak, however, is coming in. He does have his ultimate ready as well, which I'm sure there's something he can do with that. I don't freaking know. Afterlife picking up yet again another kill. And this Centaur is really doing incredibly well, right? He's applying a lot of pressure. Oh, always on the fly. He's just ready to trade. The Visage is going in on the Skywrath, throws out the Soul Assumption. And it does deal a lot of damage, right? That's a scary ability. How much damage does it actually deal at maximum, right? Like, maximum charges, 65 damage per charge. Right now, we only have 5 charges, so it deals 330, and then it has the base damage of 20. So, 350 damage for a level 5 ability. That's quite a bit, right? Pretty scary, so he can definitely trade hit with the Skywrath Mage. And you can see why Hanskin would rather not and just falls back. Meantime, Warlock just still chilling in the mid. I wonder what he's actually going for, right? He has quite a bit of money left over. I feel like, oh, Iceberg! Oh no, he used the heal on Limp as well, so he will be slowed, he will be taking damage, but luckily they do have the Centaur available, and yeah, he will end up being fine, but of course, that's a problem, right? He put out the heal on somebody else, and all of a sudden, well, oh god, Iceberg is caught out yet again! Come on, heal! That's not gonna be enough. Hanskin takes that kill, and the greedy Warlock, he wanted that rune, and, well, he pays for it. In the meantime, Ramses now coming in on Hanskin. He has the ultimate active, so... Oh, the black hole! The sounding black hole keeps the Lycan away, so Hanskin does manage to survive, and honestly, so while that looked silly, I don't think it changed anything, right? Like, even if he had hit the Lycan, I don't see them killing him. Lycan is pretty tanky, right? He's like 1100 HP. You have, like, half of your team running away. Probably not gonna go for it even. So the black hole zoned out the Lycan, made sure he couldn't get the kill on the Skywrath Mage, and in the end, you know, kind of accomplished the goal there. Of course, they were looking to trap him, but I think it could have been worse. Limp now taking a lot of damage from Bob. An important thing to keep in mind about Bob, he deals a lot of pure damage. Right, so, oh, there we go. The Soul Assumption finishes off that one. Goblock now picked off by Seafreak. We got Bob still running in. He's actually gonna go down. The pickoff from the Ricky Maru. Afterlife yet again comes in with the double damage and takes on another hero. Iceberg now chased. We got the Ricky. Oh, the stomp on the Ricky, but no detection available. And Iceberg now taking a lot of damage. He tries to run away. Ricky Maru still looking for a bit, but he's not gonna get it. Oh, actually, we got the bird stunning him out. I don't know. Afterlife once more, but so far he's not gonna get it. Smillemans blinks in and goes in on the Centaur. But after the Amplify, there's just no follow-up. There's nothing ready. They're all so low and they're all so scared. For very good reasons, of course, seeing as they are about to die from one attack. But at the same time, it seems that's gonna be the end of it. So Complexity just gonna fall back. That was a pretty long fight, but you know, in the end, it seems like TSpirit came out ahead just a little bit. But overall, this seems to be a pretty even game. Yeah, very much so, very even. So the interesting part in this match, I think, is really the Lycan, right? Like, how does the Lycan perform? How is he gonna go from here? And one of the big things that he's got going for him right now is he can just farm up the jungle. Right, like he can just stay here, he can just hit creeps in the jungle and he's gonna be fine. He's gonna have a lot of resources available, he's gonna have a lot of money, a lot of levels right now. And he's obviously looking for that Necrobook as soon as possible, not only because it burns mana, but also because it does reveal the Ricky Maru, right? And while the Ricky isn't a huge issue, he's still annoying. Right? He's definitely annoying, he's definitely had an impact on the game. So you may want the Necrobook Vision to deal with him. And it's just a good item all around. Right, Necrobook is just kind of awesome. Huh? Sentry put down, they find the ward, but Goblock gonna be burst down immediately. Doesn't even get to cast a single spell. No, Ramses gonna turn it around on Hanskin. They get dab on Chassis. I like that. That was cheeky. I like that. That was really cute. Jesse uses the demonic conversion on a creep right there. You know, might as well get a little bit more money. It seems the fight is not quite done yet, though. Ramses is still around, and Swindlemelons finds Afterlife. Oh, wait. And who found who? But Swindlemelons is the one that actually does get stunned and is now dropping pretty damn low, and the Centaur is still chasing. He gets him with the double edge, and yet again, another kill for Afterlife. The Centaur Warrunner coming in big time, 5-0 at this point. He has his Blink Dagger ready, and he's definitely making good use of it. That Centaur is actually doing great, gotta admit that much. And Ricky is just farming top. So the thing about the Ricky is, right, like his net worth just isn't up there at all. And this is the weird thing about Complexity's lineup. Right, you would imagine that, okay, so we got Ricky as the position 1, kind of, right? The Slaughter's gonna play the offlane, and the Enigma is kind of in the jungle, and you don't know, your Viper bait. Right? That's kind of the strategy there. The problem is just that with a lineup as greedy as Complexity is playing, you have 4 cores. You don't have 3 cores as you would usually have, you have 4. Because the Enigma also needs to farm. So somebody's gonna have to take the 4. And it ends up being the Ricky Maru here, which is a bit of a problem. Kind of sucks, right? Oh, actually, the dust missed. He might actually be fine. No, he's fine. He's fine. They don't have dust. I mean, they did, but then they missed it. Oh, we got a crush coming in. That's probably not a good idea for Seafrick to initiate on, though. Seeing as he's so low, he can't really find. He's trying to heal up with the tangos, but this is risky. Oh god, if they just put down a random sentry, then Seafrick is falling. Okay, he TPs into the bottom. He doesn't want any piece of this, and that's definitely a smart call to make. TeamSpirit is going to take this top tower. You can't prevent it. You can only trade, and that's what they do. So, mid is going to fall, top is going to fall, and it seems, however, that TeamSpirit is looking to continue on with this. The Lycan is getting very close to the Necro books, and one of the big things that Lycan brings to the table is a lot of tower kills, right? And tower kills are really valuable because they allow your team to kind of keep up and farm. Meantime, we got Roshan being attempted by Complexity. They do, of course, have the Slaughter, who was very good at killing Roshan. Actually, Viper is also very good at killing Roshan because, you know, you slow his attack speed significantly, and all of a sudden the guy doesn't really deal that much damage. This is gonna be close. Oh, Roshan will go down. Swindlemelons picks it up. Oh, the big Lich ultimate. Oh, no. Eidolons are there. Dimp heals up with the mecha. Swindlemelons gets a nice crush on the black hole. The black hole on 2 free heroes. Seafrick still sitting in the ultimate, but Ramses now gonna run in. The Lycan wants to eat somebody up. Jesse taking a lot of damage, but they force him out. There's too much pressure coming into his direction. Swindlemelons crushes up too. He wants Iceberg, but the slow from Always Wanna Fly. Seafrick finishes him off, and now it's just Iceberg. One last hit is gonna do it, and there we go. Hanskin picks up that one, and it's just Ramses that escapes that fight. Complexity, of course, they lose the edges. They lose the Viper, but in the end, that still looks like a really good fight. They even get Bob for an additional 100 gold, which may not be a big deal. Actually, you know, another summon for 100 gold. These birds are in danger right now. Complexity is hunting. Seems that this one is going to escape, but that's still a big deal, right? First of all, birds have a huge cooldown. Important thing to keep in mind about the Visage, but these birds, huge cooldown, 3 minutes. Right? If you kill them right after he summons it, then you just don't need to worry about them for a while. So that's kind of a big deal. But also worth a lot of money. So Complexity gets a lot out of that fight. And yeah, that's a big swing right there. Right, that's like 5 grand out of nothing. We definitely take those. But that just didn't go well. I wonder what the Slaughter's gonna go for next. I imagine something like a BKB seems like a reasonable choice. 4-star seems to be more popular these days, but I would really like to see a BKB here. Talking about BKB, Chazzy gonna start working on his. He actually got a really nice black hole in that last fight, so that's kind of a big deal. Got the Rikimaru getting the good old diffusal, of course, one of the best items you can buy on the hero. Handskin, Rod of Athos, and then the Viper with the Mecha, who is now finally gonna finish up his threats, I assume. Might also just get a Hand of Midas to, you know, kind of stay in the game for a little while. Oh, Iceberg just burst down. So this is one of the big disadvantages of Warlock, right? He does have a Hand of Midas, so that's gonna allow him to kind of keep up and farm for the rest of the game, and it's gonna allow him to, you know, be somewhat relevant at the very least. But Azure doesn't have a good farming ability. In fact, he doesn't have a farming ability at all. And that's kind of a problem. right? Most good mid heroes these days actually have some sort of farming potential, and Warlock just doesn't. The way he farms is he right-clicks people, but he doesn't build right-click, so he's not very good at it, right? And that's kind of a problem. So he needs to do really well in the lane to make this work, and he didn't do well enough for that. He didn't do horribly, he just didn't do well enough, and as a result, TSpirit is now kind of stuck with a mid hero that, well, he isn't useless, I wouldn't say so, he's just not keeping up. And Afterlife, oh, he's caught out and just burst down instantly. Yeah, Centaur, while doing pretty well, he just also hasn't found any last hits, and you can really see this coming into play now. Complexity taking over the net worth graph, taking over the game, honestly, and the top tower is gonna fall right here. Lich doesn't have anything, Visage only now getting his medallion. It's just not much going on in favor of TSpirit at the moment. The only hope they have is the Lycan. Now, the Lycan is significant, right? The Lycan is a big deal because he has the Necrobook level 2 done now. Level 2, right? Yes, level 2 Necrobook is done. Level 3 is going to be coming out soon, and that is a big item. And Lycan is scary. I really think the new Lycan is super powerful. Siegfried, by the way, has a diffuser. He can actually totally get that kill. In a one-on-one fight, he wins that. No, he's just a little bit scared, right? Oh, he actually goes in on this one. He was waiting for his team. Visage gonna be burst down before he gets to do anything. There we go. Ramses kind of trying to maybe get something done. Oh, actually the stomp, and Limp goes down. He hits Hanskin with the double edge too. Scar of Mage now dropping low. Lycan does not quite manage to do it, but the birds coming in and cleaning him up. Jesse now locked down. Look at all of these summons just completely tearing the Enigma apart. Seafreak still looking for something, but he's just not gonna get it. He's dusted up now. He's gonna purge it off, but not in time. 4 down, 4 complexity for a free from TSpirit. Now, actually a decent trade, right? Actually a decent trade for TSpirit. Like, we're okay with this. At the same time, it's also a bit of a problem. Right? A bit of a problem that you just die to everything. This is good though. This is a good start, right? They definitely are making up some ground again and kind of coming back into it. But you could really tell in the last fight that even though this was like the worst possible fight for complexity, right? It's just not very good. You still struggled, right? And you still lost a lot of heroes. And that's always worrisome. There's always... You don't want that, right? Like, if you're going to win a fight, you want to win it, you know, in a dominant fashion. So you just... First of all, you feel good about yourself, which is nice. But also, so you kind of like... really, I don't know, actually, like, I guess that's really the main point, like, so that you feel good about yourself, you feel confident, right? And you may say, well, that doesn't really come into play, does it? But yes, it does. It totally does. Mentality, super important. Super important. Mendoyo, by the way, down on the Visage, no. Sure, he's quite happy about that. Slaughter, Hand of Midas. So really a lot of these, like, pretty late Hand of Midas is coming out. And actually, Viper didn't end up going for one. What's on the courier there? No. So... Viper, not gonna grab a Hand of Midas as well, but we do have one on the Slaughter at a pretty late point in time. He's not working on the BKB, but another one, of course, on the Warlock, who also working on the Aghanim's, but he's just not up there, right? Like, this is a scary net worth. Now, Warlock has another problem, and that is a long cooldown on the ultimate, and without the ultimate, you just don't matter, right? You just... I'm not saying that you're awful, I'm just saying that you don't matter. Right, like, your hero doesn't really have a huge impact on the fight. That's a problem. Alright, so you really need that Aghanim's. So you can, you know, fight properly, and you also need your ultimate ready, so you can fight at all. And that's kind of a problem right now. Iceberg is just not keeping up. That's just it. Our hero's just not good at farming. We've got a smoke coming out into the bottom lane. 4 heroes already. Ramses, he does have the Necrobook free, so they're definitely looking to fight. They want to try out that new power. They are looking for somebody that they can just, you know, show their new power level, I suppose. Olymp is scouted out. They use the transformation. They use the ultimate, and oh, the double stun! Jesse gonna be caught out. Swindler hits the entire team. Ricky Mouse ultimate gets quite a bit of damage done, and actually he manages to secure 1 kill. We got Bob coming out and Seafreak dropping low. He purchased himself free, but the bird secures the kill. In the meantime, we got Lycan still chasing down Swindler. He cleared out the rest of the lineup, and now Swindler is the last one to go down. Actually, Hanskin is still around. I'm sorry, please excuse that, but not for long. Hanskin yet again picked off by Ramses, and That is the power of a Lycan right there, ladies and gentlemen. We really got just a wolf coming in, rushing them down, bursting in like the giant, weird, reddish thing he is, and complexity just falls apart. They just can't handle it, right? And soon this Lycan is going to have a BKB, and soon this Lycan is going to be even more powerful. I imagine BKB, right? I imagine a Soul Cross BKB at this point. But Lycan is just going to grow more and more powerful, and this guy still has like a lot of, you know... Yeah, so Lycan is interesting. I actually think this kind of applies to every hero in the game, but like every hero in the game has a point where they like continue growing more powerful, right? And after that point, they like, I don't know, it's not so much about the rate of power growth. It's not so much about the power growth, right? It's not about the idea, does it grow more powerful? Yes, it's just about the rate at which it grows, right? It's the growth that really matters. And Lycan grows really, really quickly, and then he grows, and then he just kind of stops, right? And right now, Lycan is still growing really, really quickly, right? Ever since he got that Necro Book free, he just, boom. Got a scary hero on our hands. Oh, hands can kind of cut out a little, but actually, no, Centaur is gonna go down. That's that's a pickoff for complexity. Enigma went down in the back, I suppose, but Visage picking up that kill, but at the same time, kind of not fight right there. Bird is gonna fall, however. Visage not happy about that. He's actually getting close to his Aghanims though, so he might actually not care, right? You need to resummon for the Aghanims anyway, so whatever. Whatever, we take those. We do. Oh, look at Sea Freak. He wants the bird. He's just hiding. Come on, 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. There we go. That's actually kind of a big deal, right? Because that was Visage's way to farm. Right, he used the birds in lanes where then really was nobody else farming. So that was what was gonna get him his Aghanims, but now that's not happening. And you do want that Aghanims. Like, Visage does pretty well once he has it. But he got the money anyway. He's gonna go ahead and pick up the point booster. Gotta just do it with his own 2 wings, because you can't really trust couriers these days. I mean, really, they have some weird. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Is he trustworthy? Would you trust him? I don't trust that thing 1 second. Just no. Just no. He doesn't. No. It doesn't seem like somebody that I can rely on. Aghanims also done on the Warlock, I assume. Yes. So we got some big items coming out, right? And the summons are just getting nastier and nastier. Lycan now working on the BKB as expected. I imagine Swindle almost has his. Yes, he's very close. Skyriff, by the way. I like the Rod of Atos. Rod of Atos is amazing on that hero. So good. Such a fantastic item. And yet again, another smoke. They're missing the Centaur, but he's pretty fast, so they should be fine. Who, by the way, picked up a Force Staff now. Swindler blinks out. He knows something's up. Something's fishy here, right? He doesn't trust this. He doesn't trust this at all. And it seems they're just going to smoke into Roshan. There are some Eidolons. And look at that. Look at that summon battle. But that's tricky. They take down the Eidolons and they just go in. And look at this. Look at how fast he's falling. That's just 2 heroes. That's just 2 heroes. Oh god. Yeah, Roshan is dead. That did not take long at all. That's a dead guy. Centaur looking for something. Swindle gonna try to TP out. Not happening. Not happening at all. Yeah. Sprints away, crushes, but you're gonna have to work a little bit harder for this one, man. And fish is gonna get frozen, turned into, I imagine, fish sticks. I don't know, what would you do with slaughter? I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't seem like a tasty kind of fish. Probably poisonous. If I had to guess, I would say slaughter's poisonous. I probably can't eat them. Probably can't eat them, but you know. Like, there might be some odd Japanese guy out there that's just like, yeah, okay, so if you eat that fish, you die. I'm gonna figure out a way to eat that fish. I feel like, you know, like, that's kind of a thing that's going on. Sounds about right. They get a kill on the Iceberg yet again. This is just the weakness of that kind of Warlock. Right? Like, this hero just, he doesn't farm well, and he doesn't have any escapes. He just needs to buy everything that he needs. And you may say, well, doesn't that apply to everybody? Well, yeah, kind of, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, Centaur does a lot, right? And all he needs is initiation, so he has a blink dagger and 4 stuff, right? And then he's kind of happy, He's tanky already, he has his abilities at a decent level anyhow. And Warlock just is not like that. Like, Warlock needs Aghanims and probably Refresh as well, which I wonder if that's what he's going for next, or maybe he just finishes up the threats, which I personally wouldn't mind at all, but you know, I just kind of gotta make him work somehow, which can be a bit harder than other heroes. BKB now done on a slaughter. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. BKB also done on the Enigma, of course. I wonder if Jesse is actually going for a Blink Dagger at all. There used to be a period in Hon where people did not play Enigma with Blink Dagger. Instead, they really tanked him up a lot. And they just went for like a bunch of really tanky items, utility items. And the idea there was not, okay, I'll jump in, I'll get a big black hole. The idea was just like, well, if I'm in the fight for long enough, right, as long as I'm just in the fight, eventually I'll get a black hole. Right? Like, the opportunity will present itself. And yes, that does actually work. Right? It sounds a bit silly, but it's actually kind of a decent idea. Smoke Cloud does not work on the tower, by the way, Sea Freak. Thank you for showing that off. I feel like you should actually know this. Mid tower gonna be broken down right here. Complexity seems like they're looking to trade, but that's kind of a silly idea considering that they just lose that trade. They're just slower. And yeah, Ramses activates a Necrobook already. The Howl also coming out. The Free Bird's gonna be coming in, and that's a tower under a lot of pressure. Swindlemelon stuns up the creeps, and that's really all they get. The Lycan still fine. Of course, he does have the Aegis. He also has BKB. He's probably just looking to nope, he's still alive. He's still fine. That tower is almost dead, and at the same time, the push is gonna slow down right now, probably, seeing as Necrobooks are down. No, they're still going for this. Tower goes down, the Visage Birds are mostly the hassle here, and Ramses, he's still pressuring. They get a crush on some creeps, but that's about it. Nah, they're still looking for this. Oh, the Storm on 2! The big ultimate on 4! Limp gonna be burst out right away. Jesse activates the BKB trying to keep himself alive. He runs in, he's looking for a black hole, but he does not get it. Bob tears him apart, and that's gonna be a dead range barracks. May even be a dead melee barracks. Oh, Swindlemelon's however, he comes in. They take down the Lycan. The transformation is not going to be ready as he comes back. Warlock also bursts down. Sea Freak now had the ultimate active. I'm sure he got a single hit off on somebody. Black hole gonna be stunned out of it. No, he has not used it, so the cancel wasn't real. Always on a fly, caught in Goblock as well. Swindlemelon jumps in yet again, and they get 2 more kills. Bob's still in the middle of this, however, and getting a lot of damage done, but the golems will now also be picked off, and in the end, that's 4 down. 1 buyback used from Complexity, but overall, it seems like that's a pretty good trade. Actually, 2 buybacks used. The Viper also coming back into that fight. Well, that seems like a decent encounter, honestly. I'm sure they don't mind that too much. Nice deal on the Wiki. I wonder if that... what is that? The last time I played Wiki, I think I built Mask of Madness, which was actually pretty decent. I actually kind of like the Mask of Madness on Wiki, but... It's probably like Vladimir's or something, right? I don't see a reason for Big Lifesteal. So no Satanic or Satanic build-up, probably, right? Mask of Madness is just gonna kill you. And Vladimir's gives you a little bit of protection, which is kind of what you need. You're going up against a lot of physical damage, right? Like, that's really what's killing you here. It's not so much magic, it's just the complete, like the completely overwhelming force coming out from the Lycan and the Visage and Bob, right? And having some armor against that, probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. I would also not mind to see a BKB come out on him. An interesting thing you can actually do... Oh, by the way, right now nice dodge with the BKB. Swindlemelon is gonna be fine. So it seems to be the end of that fight. But the nice thing you can actually do with Ricky is you Or like with any hero, I suppose. But you could defusal the summons, which insta-kills them, right? You just defusal the Necrobook. In which case you would take the damage, but not if you have the BKB active, right? So if you see the fight is going on, you just BKB and you defusal the Necrobook. Which can be hard, considering you can't really like click on it that easily, since there's so many units around. At the same time, you're a professional player, you should be able to do that, right? I don't know. Necrobook coming out. And that's just the push starting right there. The Howl as well, and that's a dead barracks, and they just leave. They just leave. And that kind of fight, by the way, that is the kind of fight that really worries me. Because those are the kind of fights you do not want. These are the kind of fights where it's just like, oh, this is bad. Right? This is really, really bad. Because you couldn't fight at all. It wasn't even a fight. You just lost the building. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And if you look at the net worth graph, we really have a lot of heroes on TeamSpirit actually catching up. The Lycan, of course, still being number one, and by such a significant lead. Look at this. 17,000. The next highest is 12,000. So, Ramses, this is Lycan. This is just what the hero does, right? You can't let him snowball like this, but he almost has the Assault Cross finished. That's a big deal. But Lycan, of course, snowballing heavily. Then, of course, you have the Slaughter, but Visage doing great right now. Working on the Lotus Orbs, gonna allow him to push off the amplified damage. Wiki, somehow caught up, and then we got the Warlock, who's not doing that well, but he has a lot of money saved up. So I wonder what that item is gonna end up being, right? Like, he certainly has something in the works, some idea already. Afterlife, gonna be taking a lot of damage. He's gonna blink in a second, so he should be fine. Yeah. Sadly, he had to use the Centaur ultimate yet again to get out of there. It doesn't have that long of a cooldown, so it's fine. It's still kind of annoying, though. I actually really wonder what that's going to end up being. I mean, I would just buy a Refresher, right? I don't see a problem with that, honestly. Just buy Refresher, put down 2 ultimates. That's kind of a big deal. Kind of works. But... I don't really know. I mean, what else can you buy? Armor? Maybe? I don't know. BKB? What do you need a BKB for on a Warlord? Maybe he's getting burst down. No, but he got to cast his ultimate. I mean, that ultimate is always going to be cast. You could get Blink Dagger or something if that's an issue. I honestly just have no idea. Blink. Oh, there we go. Blink is actually not bad on Warlock. It's a bit silly. Why is it a bit silly? But well, it mostly comes down to cast range of the ultimate. I mean, this is pretty big, right? Especially if you add half the radius of it on top of that. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. But I mean, Blink Dagger is still nice. Right? It's just a good item to have. Allows him to actually initiate. So I don't see much of an issue with it. Roshan is back. And I don't know that complexity actually. Is it complexity over here? No, they have nothing. They have no vision here. Yeah, it's just going to be a free Roshan. Aegis goes on a Lycan. Cheese on the Centaur, who now, by the way, picks up his Aghanim's. That's bad for complexity. Yeah, this is just slowly getting out of hand. It's not really a matter of like net worth or experience. Right, complexity is ahead in experience, and TeamSpirit is only slightly ahead in net worth. That's not the problem, it's just... How do you fight into this? Right? Oh god, Afterlife. Probably dead? Nope. Yet again, casting the ultimate to keep himself alive. But, how do you fight into this? Right, and it's not always just about something as strict as, well, you have more money, so you had an advantage. Like, with certain teams... It's not so much about the money that your opponents have. It's more about, okay, we want to get to a certain point at a certain time. And if we get there, even if you have more money than us, you honestly just can't fight into us. So we're fine. We just kill you, right? And I feel like that's where TeamSpirit is at right now. They're just going to keep fighting. They're just going to keep pushing. The Centaur kind of defending the backlines a little, but I'm certain he will go into the bottom lane sooner rather than later. I'm going to try to help out his team. Oh, actually, the TP back. So... Suppose that TeamSpirit is going to keep it a bit slower for the time being. They do have Aegis though, they also have a Soul Cross down. I don't actually know what they would buy on Lycan at this point, so I really feel like they should just go, right? Just your item set is complete. This is about as strong as you get, right? And right now you're really strong, but this is about it. So maybe you should go, or maybe you should just initiate. Crush on some creeps here. Swindle taking a bit of damage from the walls, kind of mostly trying to cancel the blink dagger, I guess. Oh, Centaur ultimate? That's actually a kill. Yeah. Well, that's kind of a decent pick-off, I suppose. Use the Lycan ultimate for it. Ah, alright. Doesn't have that long of a cooldown at this point, so it's not much of an issue. It's just a little odd, right? With this guy with Mage dead, though, you should be able to just break down this tower. I feel like that's what they're looking to do mostly, right? They just want to break down this tower and then go for a base push. Just let's go and actually finish this game. They really don't want it to take too much longer. I'm not sure how well the Rikimaru carries, but I'm sure you can do it to some extent. This is, by the way, apparently just a casual Morbid Mask. Alright. Picks up the Yasha, Sentient Yasha instead. That's fine. Right, Sentient Yasha is good, but I don't know. I would like to see an upgrade come out. It's just kind of a lazy farming item. Well, that's a dead tower. And that's a push. Got the summons coming out. The birds gonna restore their lives and crush just straight up on the Lycan. Rams's taking a lot of damage, but he's just not afraid. He's just sitting in the front lines. Reflects a bit of damage. He's probably gonna fall here. No, still alive, still alive. They're gonna heal him up. They're gonna heal him up. Yeah, that's the upside of having a Lycan, right? Lycan with edges, kind of what you do is exactly what TSpirit is going for here. They have the Lycan in the front, and he just tanks damage while he deals damage to the tower. Right, and then after the Lycan dies, then you initiate, because then that's when he's gonna transform. So they're just healing him up, right? They're just kind of trying to keep him going for as long as possible. And then get some damage in on the tower, and once the actual fight starts, that's when the Lycan is gonna let himself die and then transform and go for a proper push. We got the Necrobox coming out now. Stomp. Oh, he gets two! Swindlemelons and Limp are caught out. The birds are gonna keep him knocked down for a little while longer. Bob and Brienne already dealing a lot of damage, and the Viper is dead. The Viper is gonna go down. No, actually Limp is still alive, but he's so low he can't fight. He just can't get back into this. He might as well be dead. That wouldn't change anything. The barracks are falling. And yeah, Bob is just gonna be pounding into those melee barracks. In the meantime, at the bottom lane, we got Sea Freak now caught out. He activates his ultimate. He should be fine for the time being. Lycan actually gonna be bashed up inside of it. But he just trades it with Swindle and almost gets that kill. Bob is still back in it now. And Limp, oh god! Oh god, the fingering from the Warlock and the GG is called. The push is just too much. The summons are just too much. TSpirit takes it. And that's a 1-1, I guess. We totally saw the first game as well. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating on the video. Hope to see you tomorrow.